Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik again, and this is a game War in the Pacific Advanced Edition. This is my play by email match against Deaniks. He's a Japanese player, and for me it is Allied side. This is still RA mod, so scenario 50. Everything more or less exactly the same like my play against Azurop, only switching sides. And here you can see now the landing of the Japanese forces at Kotabaru. That is so far everything standard, I would say. What is a little more old school is the landing on the northern end of Luzon, not close by Clarkfield, Manila. But of course it's also less risky. There are mines in Singapore, also a very classic way to use the submarine mine laying operations early on. And one of my PT boats hit, you can see here in the text, a mine at Bataan. There's also a Japanese mine operation early on. So the American mines blocking the port of Manila, but also the Japanese mining here the strait at Bataan, so that my ships leaving Manila are risky to be attacked. And there was a submarine attack on the enemy carrier just now. I totally forgot this. So first night, more or less, or second night, we had a carrier under attack by American submarine, but no hit. And this is at Pearl Harbor. I send out my PT boats to maybe catch the enemy carriers, but I find only the escorts. So I don't guess that I get here any hit because the range is still too far away for a torpedo attack. So this was close to Pearl Harbor. I tried to catch them, but two of my PT boats get hit and then killed. It is still 85% moonlight, so not a lot of cover for my ships, PT boats, to sneak on the enemy. Good. Here's the enemy cruiser. My submarine is also here trying something, but okay, this is a Mark 14. Not even if they hit, they maybe not create a lot of damage. And here are, of course, now a lot of Japanese submarines trying to intercept something. Other submarine, the ticket destroyer, no success. The same for the Japanese submarine, also failed to sink this AP. And this is my port guard ship, because I use this, I was not sure if there's maybe a destroyer attack or something happening, but he sent in his two battle cruisers, so my patrol craft had no chance. So, but these are two very shitty patrol craft and one so-so patrol craft. That is a port Pearl Harbor. Looks like that maybe there's a bombardment, I don't know. And this is my anti-submarine craft, anti-minesweeper. And I don't know if there was a double sound of a mine hit just now. I'm not so sure. I must check if the turn is over the combat report. So there's another submarine here at Rangoon. At the end, it's early on, I don't have any escorts. I must first bring my ships in acceptable order. So early on I can only run, and the old ships going down, I don't care. I also can here, this is Soyo, Hiryo, this was where the submarine, I think, just attacked. Oh, I'm not so sure, was this now Soyo? Yeah, Hiryo and Soyo, and here was also the, I think one of my S-boats make a submarine attack, but yeah, they're hitting my tankers, but both won't disengage. One more light cargo ship without escort. A little better cargo ship, but also no escort. At the end, I could say that maybe this will consume all of the torpedoes and shells early on of the enemy. So that maybe in 2-3 turns I have no worry more. This is a better cargo ship, but I can also again only run. But it was not heavy damage, so maybe this ship has a chance, but of course not if there's a second attack. Okay, now it's for sure dead. Sinking. But all ships are empty, so... And here is now the bombardment of Pearl Harbor. I'm not so sure if this is clever, but anyway, because Pearl Harbor have a lot of heavy guns. I think even 16-inch guns. Still, this bombardment is able to damage a little more, but I don't know if it's worth the risk. Yeah, mines and heavy guns. But I think this was a long-range bombardment, so if you can set up the distance you make a bombardment, so maybe 20 or 25,000 yards. Yeah. Landing on Guam, Markin, nothing too special. More unloading in Kotabu. And no return fire. The question will be more or less only how long I can hold Luzon and Malaya, Singapore, and how many casualties I can inflict on the Japanese side. That I lose early on a lot of ships, I have no problem with this. But I try to use the assets I have as best as possible. Again, a tanker I think is running here into the enemy carrier fleet. Yeah. Now it's a Dutch sub attack. Normally, okay, but yeah, failed attack. These are my PT boats now at daytime. This is normally not what it works like because PT boats always need the cover of night. But the battle cruisers are consuming more shells. I lose one PT boat. Yeah, that doesn't matter. A very small Dutch AP going down. A very small AKL also going down. My submarine attacking the enemy cruiser mine layer. No one hit anything. Second submarine attack. Also nothing. Now a Japanese submarine attack on my destroyer. All failing. Now we have tons of Navy search. I keep my Navy strikes out of Manila short ranged. So I try only to intercept what is coming close. Because if it's too far off, maybe one an enemy long range cap. and I really don't have the fighter units left to escort my strikes and cover also my own airbase. The strong airstrike on Manila and Clarkfield on 7th December was simply crippling all of my air fleets there. And the little I have left I must use wisely. So there's sweeping over Clarkfield, and Clarkfield I don't even cover, but I cover Singapore. So I have here some Hurricanes on more or less cap, and the others trying to train up the pilots. So these are Hurricane 2B, they are okay, they can maybe fight with a 0. And because this is long range sweep, I think this is 14 hexes, so maximum range of the 0. Every damage to a 0 is normally also a destroyed 0. Good. I lose the battle official, but I can inflict some casualties. Now Manila. Same story, I have my P4, my Warhawks here on cap. Fighting the 0s. Also losing the battle, but downing some 0s. Here now Pearl Harbor. Also my Wildcats are on combat area, on cap, and the rest are on training. But this was a little more one-sided. No chance here. These are simply the best pilots, and yeah. Hong Kong, more sweeping of Pearl Harbor. And here's the airstrike coming. I get here now some of my training pilots into the defense. And I can down some of the batteries, but I was not really able to protect my port. So additional ships are here hit. And I had already a lot of damage last turn, and I was trying to fix at least the minimum amount with service damage over 50. It's very hard to leave the port. Yeah. I can kill some batteries, let's say this. And only one ship hit so far. This attack was not so strong. More sweeping of Singapore. This time my Hurricanes had not really a chance. But 1-to-1 kill ratio is maybe still fine. My cap is so weak, but I can at least force some bombers to return. But nearly no damage. And this time, again, more hits on my submarine fleet and tanker fleet. And also the Maeve is coming, but I was able to force many of them around, so no damage. More 0s are coming, sweeping my cap. Now my cap is already very tired and I lose a lot of aircraft. And not much is left anyway. The Alps coming a little low. That is easy picking for the British flag. This is 10,000, is not so easy to hit. Got to go, more strafing. Better don't do this with the British American flag. At least not with nades. Same story here. But here's no flag unit, so. And this is the airfield attack, not directly against the unit. These are all air attacks, airfield attacks. Not so sure why, but okay. Also airfield attacks against Hong Kong. And Georgetown, this makes sense because this is an island, so you cannot move out the damaged aircraft. Again, airfield attack. In Kuantan, same, no railing, so damaged aircraft cannot leave the base. But 3000 is a little low. This will create a lot of flak damage. More air base hits. And one of my small AGs trying to load supplies or unload supplies, I don't know. But yeah, the carriers are here and sinking in my ship. Pity. Also other small AKM, 2 or 3, all going down. But all of the fleet around Philippines is more or less now anyway likely to be lost, because then always took the airbase in Mindanao and have, I think, the HQ there and long range bomber. So all of my Philippine fleet is likely to be lost. More like cargo ships are going down. What I can scuttle, I scuttle in port. Not every ship you can scuttle. It must have, I think, over 50% system damage or major damage. Then I at least can save the captain on 1 point per ship or something like this. Not that the points are really important. And I only use submarines and patrol boats. So all my heavy surface ships I keep in port and better wait that Kiributai is leaving before I act. Here you can see this is the airbase. So far there are no torpedoes, but I think it's only a question of time that torpedoes will arrive here. So, and if I try to drive here down, especially with now the carrier, so it's impossible to move anything up or down the Philippines now. Long range torpedo boats or flying boats. And 250 kilogram is still a little heavy for like cargo ship. And here's a torpedo bomber attack on Pearl Harbor, second day. I normally never try this. I can kill 1 or 2 torpedo bombers. But much important is that now there's no flak debuff more. So flak was damaging some aircraft. And yeah, these are 1800 kilogram bombs, but they will not create too much damage against the battleship. And lonely. This cannot stop any attack, but I also don't expect here too much. You can see that there's always hit but no penetration. Hit but no penetration. So all of these bomb hits will make 1 or 2 system damage, not more. And here's the tanker. Twice intercepted the enemy carrier fleet, but now it's going down. And more cargo ships are sinking. unloading. Of course, Ocean Island, Nauru Island, Tarawa, all of this island will soon be under Japanese control. And Lingayen have the attack. I cannot really do here anything. Not all, well, I mean the attack force is not too strong, it's more like one regiment and some tank units. But I have only a weak Filipino division here. So, of course, that is destroyed. But what is not destroyed can fall back to Clark and maybe get a little morale back there. Same in Kotaburu, I cannot do here much, but I can hold for one more turn. The enemy attack is a little weak. I mean, only a little weak. Yeah, but yeah. One more turn. Then it will fall. Markin is here. Ocean Island is only a engineer unit here. Emiri, similar situation. That is old standard. No surprise here. My encounter battery fire have an effect. But it shows that the British lost 50% of the attack value on the Japanese only, I think 20-30. Good. At the end, so far everything looks very classic, broadly speaking. So I was not sure if there's maybe at the second day some very sneaky surprise stuff, blah blah blah. But it looks like the only risky operation is that Dean is coming for Mersing. But no, not Mersing at second day, he's first coming at third day. Looks like. Good, and here's a little reinforcements. A little more, of course. So much. I move a lot of stuff around. Good. See you in a moment. So, this was now the second turn of the war. And the first turn I can really use and operate everything I want. First, let's check the intelligence report. Air losses was slightly in my favor. So overall we have now a balanced loss ratio aircraft wise. For Japan it was mainly Bettys, but also a bunch of zeros I think getting destroyed over Singapore. And others is flag losses, I would say, and operational losses. For me, it is only fighters. Fighter. In one B-17 getting destroyed on the ground on Blenheim. Cool. Out of my 32 lost airframes, or 109 airframes up to now, I had only 9 wounded and 10 killed pilot. So I lost nearly no pilots. If this is now important or not is another question, of course, because most of these pilots are all only just so-so. But they are still better than fresh pilots. That for sure. And I have one guy, I have already 3 kills. Okay, that is the first information. The second information is the ship sunk. Last turn, no Japanese sunk. For me, Gold Star, that was a good one, and the tanker was a good one, but there was all in range of torpedo bombers, so I had no chance. All of the other stuff is more or less doesn't matter. This is patrolcraft, the better patrolcraft. That was maybe some useful, but it was for anti-submarine and not for anti-surface. So it's okay. And ground units. Restore? No. Here. Ground unit destroyed. So up to now I have no destroyed ground. No, I have Ocean Island detachment is destroyed. Not that I really need it. I will not buy it back. Good. I would maybe check first the combat report. I was not sure if there was a mine hit early on. It was early on unloading. Here is some ships. This is my AMC fleet at Singapore cleaning mines. This is my PT boat hit a mine and sinking. The enemy carrier, my submarine attack, but no hit. Some torpedo boats are taking battle cruisers, but no hit. Nothing. Here is the enemy cruiser hit a mine at Pearl Harbor. Okay, there was a mine hit, but no heavy damage. And this thing was the only mine hitter here. Good. So a heavy cruiser had a mine hit. You can also see that this is I don't know what is what now, but it looks like there is maybe the battle cruisers going north. This is cover fleet, and these are the carriers, and they are now in the range of just 7, so the maximum torpedo range. Or for the torpedo bombers, the maximum 800 kilogram bomb load. So I guess that the Kido Butai will now go back to Japan, Philippine Sea, something like this. But I have to wait 1 or 2 more turns and make sure that really no carrier disappear and then come back immediately. So I wait 3-4 days. I have so much time before I can wait. At the same time, I can still try to fix here my ships. There's nothing really happened. Some of my PT boats come back from the night operation with no success. And I have here a little more stuff is now damaged or under repair. I also convert a lot of ships to AVPs because they simply provide you with seaplane support. And seaplane support means Catalinas, nothing else really. But because this is specific and nearly 90% or even more of the bases have port access, we don't talk about China here now or India, then this is all what I need. The heavy or most heavily damaged ships are still my battleships. There was, I think, took 2 or 3 additional bomb hits. So you can see 800 kilogram bomb hit, but still no major damage. So I get this ship, I think, soon or later under control. If I put it in shipyard, I get it in 90 days. So, but because it's all on small damage, I can keep it portside. It's okay. I must wait anyway normally for the first upgrade. With this New Mexico class ships, this is the only ship class where I'm not so sure if I want to wait for the upgrade before I really use them, because you have already surface and air radar. That is normally the minimum you need. The next upgrade would simply only improve the everything, yeah, for sure. But you can see then there's a very big gap of over 1 year. So latest this June upgrade and then the ship is ready for combat all the time. But some other battleships, Pennsylvania class, you have the upgrade here in January, so make no sense to move even out of the port. I wait for the upgrade. And then the next question is this is October 42, so this is a long gap. I wait, this make no sense to wait for this. And even other battleships like Nevada, they have the same. There is, I think this also makes sense to move out. Anyway, the battleships are battleships. I would maybe use them mainly for carrier escort, but all of these old style battleships have the problem that they only have a cruise speed of 3, so they're better, I think, for protecting maybe convoys and bombardments and not for carriers directly, because they're too slow for this. And yeah, same goes with all of these shitty destroyers. tons and tons to do here. But main objects, well, strategy is here. Wait here, get the first upgrade of my ships, maybe January, February or March, and then use them at the front line. And I wait here 2 or 3 more turns that I am sure. Then I will also put here Catalinas everywhere. Up to now I've only Catalinas here in Pearl Harbor and Midway. But I also need them here in Johnston Island to see that Kido Butai is really west of Johnston Island. Also if there are maybe 5-6 turns or hexes away from Johnston Island in the west, then I can maybe operate Pearl Harbor. And I must also get Palmyra under a seaplane base in Canton Island. Because I simply, if I want, I could ship everything to Tahiti and then from Tahiti first to Australia, but this is a really long distance. It's much faster if I go to Palmyra and then from Palmyra directly to Pago Pago. But if I want to do this, I must make sure that there is nothing in range. So I need normally Canton Island or even Baker Island for forward base. Baker Island is only so close to Tarawa that I think it makes no sense. So Canton Island, I think, is the choice. Good, anyway, this is for Pearl Harbor. Not much more to say about this. I can only talk that my carrier is now in range of Big Island. So what I can do is now transfer my aircraft from Big Island to Enterprise. And then I save this air wing. The ground troops I think I cannot save. That is too risky. At least not now. If in the first 3-4 days or maybe in 1 week is no one show up at Wake, I could send Catalinas here to get early detection, or I give up Wake. Because Wake is really too far away for this early on to have a benefit for me. It's an early warning station only for Midway, nothing more. Good, and then of course I call back Enterprise to Pearl Harbor and then wait. Because Enterprise get also in April upgrade, and first I think this upgrade will improve anti-aircraft, plus you get I think a better radar. No, maybe the radar is already okay, but you get at least better anti-aircraft. So that is here, not much more to say here. Pago Pago looks fine. Here is Lexington is returning to Australia. You can see some upgrade in March. That will really improve my abilities flag wise, because 8-inch guns I don't need. What I need is 5-inch anti-aircraft. And if I have one carrier at least here the east coast of Australia, then I can react to small stuff. But of course I cannot react to Kido Butai. But have one carrier is already helpful for Australia, at least in the first 2 or 3 months. So I will of course try to build up Pago Pago and Suva and Nomaya. I will maybe skip because it's so under pressure normally. I want if I have Pago Pago and Suva is maybe more important first. Nomaya would be then the next point. Where I can try something, because up to now I see no one coming for a bull, and I have here some Australian Navy search. I mean, of course not the best, but they can fly 8 hexes, and it's the early warning for me. So I will try to maybe save this guys here. Here's one guy, and maybe these 2 guys I can also save. This guy is restricted. Not so sure if I want to buy him out. Then there's also this other smaller detachment units here, but most important is really for me saving this guy, because you can create the 23rd British Brigade, and the other 2 pieces are now in Darwin. So if I can get these guys, fly them to Port Moresby, or even use ships, get them Port Moresby or even to Darwin, then yeah. So the idea is maybe save these two guys and then check the situation, how aggressive is the move here to the southeast. If it's very aggressive, I will not build up Port Moresby, but if I see here no one coming in 1 week, then I can maybe try to build up Port Moresby at least. Rabaul I would never try, this is too forward. What I try is to build up Darwin. Darwin is simply for me too important to simply ignore it. It makes not, I mean, if there's an aggressive move in the first week coming for Darwin, of course I will not try here more. But if I don't really see it coming now, and Darwin is maybe not easy to defend because it's clear terrain. But I more or less, because this is AR mode, you have a little other early setup here. I have here some attack power and I try to build up the fort levels. Plus I can mine Darwin and add here some dive bombers or all of this stuff. I can try. We have here a lot of aircraft, so there is something. And you can also see this is here's Charlotte, this light carrier early on. And I reform already my fighter wing. It's only buffaloes, but so that I have here more fighter cover. It's more like a cap, not like a strike aircraft. But building up Darwin and maybe building up Port Moresby would be my choice. And a lot of other ships are moving around here. I pull back. At the end I play maybe not running away with everything. I try to build hard points of that I can defend. So of course I try to take out the fuel out of Tarakan and out of Balikpapan, that is sure. I also try, and I simply do it, to move supplies from Tarakan to Mindanao, and supplies from Balikpapan to Java. And the bigger tankers I will send directly from Balikpapan or Palembang or wherever I can get oil or fuel, only fuel, to Perth, because Perth needs the end of the oil, no one else. I have here enough fuel on Java to keep it a year if I want. Mindanao is the really biggest problem for me because this situation is simply too out of control, because he took the base at day 1 and I have simply no forces, and because here's the air base, it's very hard to move anything nearby, and here's now the other carrier fleet, so yeah, even if I won't move here all out, it would be already dead. I missed maybe the opportunity. You can see there was, I mean, if I send them out or not, I think they're all dead because of the carrier nearby. And the submarines would be maybe the only stuff I can send out, but you can see that most of them are simply too damaged. Yeah, I could have, I mean, that would be maybe an option. This one and maybe this one. So maybe there's 3 submarines there, or maybe acceptable. That one is already also maybe I was a little late. That I could do it day 1. My idea was that I can maybe protect my port and at least get rid of some of the system damage, and at the same time maybe build up the repair shipyard to level 2 or 3, and then fix the submarines very quickly in the shipyard, because with the shipyard you can do it in 4 or 5 days. But he coming aggressively again for the port strike. The benefit was that I was able to kill a lot of bombers, and I hope that there's no next airstrike coming for the port. I hope this was now enough. I can now rest my fighters, because I guess that next turn he will come heavily with sweeping, and I can take the day off for my pilots, because most of my airframes are simply now damaged or under maintenance. And My pilots are also still not so good. I try to find good pilots, but better than 15 average you cannot find early on. And this is all what I have left, more or less. This is damage, this is so, damage or so, damage or so. These are the 4 air wings. And this one is more or less only damage. I can now move out this 2 last aircraft, okay. But this will not really change anything. I have a bunch of broken B-17s here at Clarkfield, but they will need some days to repair, especially because the airbase is so trashed. You can see that, if it's red, you can know already that the aircraft is out of action. You cannot run normally cap. So the service is 30% down, but the runway is 60% down. Manila was so far only port strikes. There was a little airfield damage I was able to repair, but I also didn't have hit tons of engineers. So yeah, that will be a little tricky, but at the end I try to simply hold this triangle of Bataan, the last position, Manila, Clarkfield. Manila is normally the port and the airfield, because the airfield was not damaged, but Clarkfield is completely trashed. And but Clarkfield is much better to defend with triple defense. Also, Clarkfield is in the stacking limit limited to 40,000. So I need only get here 40,000 combat soldiers or frontline units to try to block Manila from the north. Of course, the Japanese can come on the other side and walk this way down and take Manila, or from the source. But so far I see nothing from the source, so I will call in all to Manila in Clarkfield first. I can also hope that maybe there's no attention for Bataan, and then I build up maybe Bataan to a level 4 fort, and then I can at least keep here something. We will see if this works. If I'm out of supplies, I'm out of supplies. I have here now 50,000, 60,000 maybe in total. That is not a lot of supplies, but it will keep maybe for 2 months, 3 months maximum. Anything else here is, I try something sneaky. I have here my light cruiser, American light cruiser, plus a bunch of destroyers. And I have no detection. What I can maybe try is that I make a rush to Miri, because there must be the invasion fleet. Maybe I can catch the invasion fleet empty, but at least I can maybe destroy some cargo. And then go back to Brunei, because in Brunei I have some fuel. So I have here light cruiser, and I have here also my heavy cruiser formation. I mean, Houston, Boise. So I have these 2 cruiser formations trying to intercept here some incoming, outgoing ships from Miri, plus a Dutch submarine. I mean, some more. But not much more here to say of Brunei. I mine Tarakan. I throw a lot of mines. The mines I have, throw them here inside, because Tarakan is a base you must go directly. Balikpapan is always a problem that you can put everything in Balikpapan, but then the enemy is coming north and then walk here down. So we want to mine both. This is hard. So yeah, nothing else here. I would say Manila looks a little slow, but at the same also aggressive. I mean, aggressive move coming from Mersing, that for sure. But the rest is slow. So I will lose this battle here tomorrow, then normally jump here and then move here. I move this in this unit simply in the central. Here's a very rough, or jungle rough, very easy to defend. Then I can build your fortress and block force here. This will simply block the rail on the east side. Yeah, you don't really have a base with this, but you could block this unit to block the other rail. Maybe I will do this. And but at the end, all of my main forces I call back to this base first. And I move, of course, west now. And I hope that I'm faster out of the hex, that the invasion force can attack me. They need next turn they will land, and the turn after this they will normally land, attack. So now I can move out. I'm already on the way, so but I must switch now to combat mode because there will be amphibious assault and then there's shell bombardment and bombarding my troops. Then I will flip automatically to combat, so I better reduce the casualties and move in combat. Here at Singapore, I have still my cruiser to repair. I'm missing some starting damage. Nothing else. And my 2 heavy ships are here and waiting for the cruiser. I could now, of course, use here my 2 battleships or battleship to mess up this invasion, but I really, like I said before, I don't want to do this. This is game breaking. In worst case, my ship's going down and everything is fine for the game. If I win here this battle, then the game is over, I guess, more or less. So I simply don't do this. A lot of other ships are going around, most of them, of course, without escorts, because there is no escorts. And then the submarine will sink them, but it's okay. If I get only half of them to the destination, it's fine. What I need to do is get a lot of ships out of Calcutta or into Calcutta, and then final destination is Rangoon, to get here much more supplies. I need here tons of supplies in Rangoon to let the supplies maybe go to China or for the defense of Rangoon. And the best spot to defend normally against the Japanese would be here. But it's so forward based that it's hard to rush there. So I will maybe do the opposite and say I defend Rangoon to the last man. And even because it's 2 times defense. This is the same like Singapore. You can also defend here. That is, if I block this and if I block a Rangoon, then and if I can hold it a little, it's fine. I will see. I cannot hold this forever. That is also not my plan, but delay the action. Fight for Rangoon and not only one. Running, it's everyone can run away, but I don't want to run. I want a little play, a little realistic. I mean, if everyone run like the Russians with Napoleon, that is maybe a possibility, but somewhere you have to fight. Good, in Java looks fine. I move a lot of stuff. In Java I will not make any Fortress of Palmbang, and I think with this scenario it's also not so easy. Much more stuff. All the German Dutch stuff is restricted. You cannot even leave the islands if you want. Some are hard restricted and some are all hard restricted. This one you can buy out, but what is this? So Java is the same situation. I will have the hard points, more like Batavia and Surabaya. I will defend the cities, and I will build up some backup forces here, mountain fortress, and 2 more. So for each city you have a backup fortress on the mountain, but priority is normally defending the city. And I think this is all, because India is only moving a lot of stuff around. China is I know how to defeat China with Japan, and I think I also know how to defend China with the allies. But it's always heavily related to how the Japanese player is acting in China. I also make a similar situation. I find the right spots, and then I will dig in and will let the Japanese come. For me, crucial would be that if I can hold these 2 cities, because they support each other. When Chao have the supply production automatically plus light industry 80 and heavy industry, so this is 40, 120, 200 supplies per day, but you have only 60 resources. I have enough fuel, I think, for a long time, so this is not the issue. But the resources will come normally from here, 20 more resources. So I need these 2 cities to keep the industry going, to get the local supplies. I only need these 2 cities, and that is enough. This will more or less block here the highway also. And then there's only this other highway, but okay. And I will try to defend more or less the center. I get Ai-Chang for free, because every half decent Japanese player understands that you don't need Ai-Chang. Is only a burden for Japan. It's also a burden maybe for China, but for me this could be still be a forward base to have a early reaction or trigger that if the Japanese coming strong on this side to cut from the behind juncture. But this is not the easy go. Of course, I will try to block this hex, because this is always triple. Then you have triple here. You can also triple block here. This is more or less, you must know where you stay. And you can see here triple. So defend what is possible. But I must really see how the Japanese are coming. If they're crossing in force over here the river, then I must maybe give up these two bases. If not, I can try to dig in as long as possible and keep here and stay here a little longer. But yeah, it is not a must to hold this. These three cities are nice to have, but not a must. Especially Nanyang give you normally nothing. There is nothing. You don't produce anything. There's only some little resources. Who cares? These two cities produce supplies, so that is why I like to hold them a little longer. Once I have Xi'an built up, I think I can give them up. Good. Anything so far? Everything what I know and what I try to do. Good. See you next time. Take care. Bye bye.